Welcome to another episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I am your host, Wize, and my guest today is a top 5 realtor from Atlanta, and the host of American Dream TV. She helps people align their homes with their lives they're meant to live, whether that means buying, selling, or redesigning their space. Through her wheelhouse method, she guides clients to make real estate decisions that support clarity, confidence, and living fully. Today, we're talking about why your environment matters more than you think. Welcome to the show, Kim Costa.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here, and I am really thrilled that you pronounced Atlanta the way it's supposed to be without that second T.
I didn't recognize.
You did a good job, yeah. If you're from Atlanta, you know that people aren't familiar with it if they say Atlanta. It's supposed to be Atlanta.
Well, I don't know.
You did good.
I didn't
You're
think about
pro.
it. I didn't think about it. I guess because I lived in Tampa for a
There
few
you go.
years, so maybe that's it. Well,
Yeah.
so what first made you see the connection between people's homes and their overall life alignment?
Well, I tell you, some years ago, I was going through a lot of life transition, getting divorced, obviously switching my home, switching my career, even like getting back to my hobbies that I used to like to do. I'm a golfer, but I was riding horses and I like my feet on the ground. So as I was switching everything, I had a coach and he put me through the Wheel of Life test where you kind of go through each of the 8 areas and you grade how well you're doing in your life in that area. So, like romance, finance, career, health, family and friends, all those things. And so, as I was doing that, I noticed as my life was changing, one of those spokes was really low and I was trying to fix it. So I started, once I was becoming a realtor, I started noticing when other people were moving, I would start to categorize them into 1 or 2 of those areas.
Mm. Was there a moment where you realized real estate decisions were really sort of like life decisions?
Yeah, because, it's all about life change. So, who doesn't go through life without some life change, whether you asked for it or not? And so as I was kind of going through that change, I realized, gosh, I'm moving almost every time I'm trying to fix something because you can get stuck in an old lifestyle, a life you used to live, or if you want to, by choice, do something different with your life. It a lot of times it involves changing the environment that you're living in to help you do that.
So how did your background in finance, construction, and design shape your perspective in everything you do?
Well, I mean, beyond those things, my parents were human resource executives or directors. So I always heard growing up at the dinner table their conversations saying, well, that's not in their wheelhouse. We had to let them go. They just weren't good at that. Or, wow, we really like this new person. They are totally in their wheelhouse in their new job. And so, wheelhouse to me meant meeting your full potential. And so as I kind of tried different things out, I'm an ENFP. That's a personality, like extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceptive. So I was doing accounting for 25 years, and I was not. My personality is more of like a writer, like Robin Williams, Will Smith, Sandra Bullock, Mark Twain, Charles Dickens, writers, people telling stories. But I was crunching numbers 8 hours a day. It was a total misalignment, and so I also recognized that in other people, just inherently seeing where they were misaligned in their lives and how much discomfort it was causing them. So that's kind of like financially. So I was in the financial industry in real estate for quite some time. So I kind of knew, well, gosh, you're living below your means. You just got a huge raise. You and your 5 kids are cramped in this little house. Why don't you live a little, go get, let everyone have a bedroom, have a yard to play and maybe get a pool. So that was like a good way to be financially misaligned. But a bad way might be, you're getting older, your health isn't great, you can't keep up the house, and you're spending a lot of money having other people take care of it, and you're not even using the whole house. why not go somewhere and push the easy button and have someone do these things for you and you can still have fun the rest of your life? So, all these areas, design as well, equip me to look at people's potential and look at a home's potential and see if they match up.
Mm. But what patterns did you start noticing in clients who felt stuck or unsettled?
They were like unhappy. So, it might be that they pulled up to their house and they were frustrated because it's like, the gutters are leaking. I see them. I don't have time for this. Or my laundry room's too small. I have, a bunch of kids. Or even my kids have left or my spouse is gone, whether it's divorce or passing. And they're lonely. So it's feelings. It's frustration, sadness, loneliness. Um, and that creates a pain point to where they're not happy where they are. And sometimes they don't recognize it.
Mm. When did helping people buy or sell turn into helping people align?
I think it was starting with aligning myself and figuring out that there was a process that of aligning with my own life and what that looked like, and looking through each of those areas to see how I could maximize it. And so once I maximized my own life and started to help people in real estate, I applied the same routine or rules to the people that I was helping to say, okay, we're have a career finance move, but have you thought about like your family and friends? Like, do you like to entertain? Are you more of an introvert? So I started asking questions around the other areas just to make sure that they didn't move somewhere and have a different problem.
So you mentioned the wheelhouse earlier because you said your parents were in HR, and they always said, "Oh, this person was in that wheelhouse." Is that where you got the wheelhouse method from? Is that your inspiration for the name?
Well, that's where I got the name from. So I got the wheelhouse method from the Wheel of Life. And then I also used Maslow's hierarchy of needs,
Okay.
which is, physiological, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and then up to aesthetic, like do I have pretty paint colors and I love my countertops, that kind of thing. So if you have a physiological need, it's not good. Like you're not sleeping, you don't have food, and then safety, obviously, if you're fearful in your neighborhood or in your own home, not good. So we want to up level all those to higher level needs. So I was on the phone with my mom one day, who was an HR person, and I had a long way to drive to go show a home. And I said, "Hey, Mom, I've been thinking, I'm talking about people's houses and I'm using the wheel of life. And remember that old human resources phrase, like, are you in your wheelhouse in your job?" She goes, "Yeah, I remember that." And I said, do you think it would make sense if I said, are you living in your wheel space house? Like it's a wheel to help you get into the right house or align with the right home, even if you remodel. And she's like, yeah, that makes sense. I think that's good. I was like, oh, that was about 3 years ago. So I worked on this like 7 years. So I don't even know where it all started anymore.
Oh, I feel you because I know because when I launched the podcast, right, which is now I'm going on year 6,
Wow. Awesome.
and at the end of March will be 6 years. Um, and from there is like I've gone in so many different. I've done so many different things just from just launching the podcast. I've gone into helping people self-publish books. I've gone to launching an internet radio station, o- but it took me just like diving into the podcast and getting into my wheelhouse, like
Yeah.
getting into, like, I didn't know I had a voice. Like I wasn't in media, I didn't talk on radio, any of that. And when I started doing the podcast, it was like, okay, like this just feels so right, right?
I love it.
And so, but from there, it was just like it just opened all these other creative juices for me. Like I want to do this now, I want to do that, and just things that I don't think, had I not started the podcast, I would have attempted any of the things that I've done in the past 6 years.
Yeah. Well, you must have some gifts that you're tapping into. right? Because like you're clearly living in your wheelhouse. People are loving the show. You've launched into other ventures, but until you really took a chance and you had the inkling to, to start the podcast because something drew you to it, well, then it mushroomed into the next thing and the next thing. That's when you're living in your wheelhouse. Is the universe kind of aligns with what you're doing, and then serendipity, like you meet people that take you to the next level and introduce you to the next person that shows you the next thing, and the next thing you know, you're living a mission that you thought you might want to start it, but it's mushroomed into something that perfectly aligns with what you were meant to do. So in my book and in the wheelhouse, there's a basement, a foundation. It's the four M's, and it's myself. Who am I? Like, what's my personality? What are my values? What do I enjoy? What makes me happy? And then you master something that your gift you've been given. And so you've done that here with your podcast and your other ventures. And then the third M is mission. And that is, how are you helping other people? And clearly people are enjoying your show. You're helping other people with their books. And then mates. And I don't know about this, but have you surrounded yourself with people in your home and in your life who see the real you and believe in your mission, and they are supportive of you? So are they supportive or are they sabotaging? And so
Okay.
you have to make a decision who you're going to let in your life and in your home.
And oh no, I've been blessed that my wife, she saw, like, before she saw it, like she saw that I was, when she started seeing me podcasting, and she was like, okay, because I was a avid gamer, and
Yeah.
she realized I wasn't gaming as much. I was focusing on building the podcast, learning really everything that I needed to learn. And she was like, she says, I know you're serious about this. I go like, why? She says, because you just completely abandoned your PlayStation. It's over there collecting dust. You don't touch it at all. She said, like, what can I do to help you? What can we do to make this some prop? Like, how can we do make this into a business or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
she saw the vision,
Yeah.
and to have someone like that, and then once I really started getting into podcasting, the relationships I started building with other podcasters and people in the industry, and it was just amazing. Like, just honestly, you attract the people that you want and you need in your life at that moment, because the people that I'm surrounding myself with are people who see me for who I like. I'm always myself. Like, I don't try to be someone I'm not.
Hmm.
But they see something else, and
Hmm.
they're like, oh, and they're like, what can I do to help you get to the next level? Or so that's one thing I've noticed recently is those opportunities opening
Yeah.
up, and the people that are, like you mentioned earlier, that are gonna take you to that next level are coming around, and
Hmm.
you're attracting them and bringing them into. So yes, I'm I'm experiencing it now. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, the first three levels, knowing yourself, mastering something, which is your gift of gab and your attraction, the people that you attract, and the good you're trying to do to help people, and the entertainment factor, right? um, you're attracting those people and your wife. I got chills when you told me about how she's like, I see you. I want to support you. Not only do I want to support you, but I'm all in. I want to help. I mean, that I got chills again. I mean, makes me want to cry. It's just such a beautiful thing to have somebody who's got your back and that sees you, and like together it multiplies. It's not just one plus one, it's multiplying everything you're doing.
oh, she's benefited. It's benefited her as well, right? Because at the same time, I've learned how to code. I've built my website and all these. I've developed all these skills that
Yeah.
now she's taking advantage of. Like, she's like, "Oh, I need you to build me this website. I need you to do this. I need you to do that." And so it's worked out that
Yeah.
that that her encouraging me and telling me, "Yeah, let's what are we gonna do? How we gonna what are the things we can do with this?" Especially when she started realizing that I was editing and doing video, and like these are skills I didn't have prior to
Yeah.
podcasting.
Yeah.
And so now and I know as a podcaster, I hate to edit,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But I hate to edit myself because
You've
it's
already heard it.
yeah. So, but if it's someone else who's paying me to do that stuff, I love it.
Yeah.
So it's a different. It's like when I'm editing, when I'm doing someone else's work, but it's a skill I developed through podcasting. So
Yeah. And it's amazing how once you find out one of your gifts, it multiplies. Like, you've got when you're on target, like it's kind of like a plane. Like
mm,
you're leaving LA and you want to get to DC, but if you're a couple of degrees off, you're going to wind up in Chicago. So you got to know who you are to start this whole process of like, what am I supposed to be doing? What brings me joy? What can I help other people with? And who do I surround myself with? Then you can go up to, like, for your example, I thought of, okay, there's a romance spark. And so that's like not just who is your primary partner, but like what you do. Your foundation is so strong that now like the gifts you've given her with like coding for her website and providing for your home and your family and things like that once you get that foundation set, then all the spokes in your wheel tend to rise up a little more. So now like she's like, man, I have a great man. He does all these things for me and I'm so proud of him. And so like your romance spoke, just it's kind of like your heart swells and the whole wheel gets a little bit bigger when you have that foundation set. So that's what I'm hearing has happened since you've got your 4Ms. And then, you once you have that all set, because even if you're in the perfect home or what looks like the perfect home, if something's off in those 4Ms, it does not matter where you live. You're going to be a little bit unhappy, a little bit misdirected, and you might align with like what you think's the perfect home, but it's just going to feel a little empty. So you get that foundation set like you have, and then you can go up to the main part of the house in the wheelhouse and address all those 8 areas to maximize them. So sounds like you're well on the path.
yeah, thank you. So how do you help someone decide whether to stay, renovate, or move?
Well, we go, first of all, I don't like come in and start asking 80 million questions like, you can buy the book for that because some of the questions don't apply. Some of the questions in there are like, I would never personally ask somebody, but it's something they should read and consider. Like, how's the health of your marriage? I'm not going to walk in. I'm not going to walk in and put you on the spot like that. But it's something, consider is what's going on there and other things. But the way I do is just the first thing I do is I listen for pain points. Like, what exactly is wrong right now? Like, what's not lining up? Well, my kitchen's not, we're having, grandkids and the dining area is not big enough for everybody to sit in one space. And like, I can't have my family sitting together. Well, that's a problem. What can we do here? I don't know. We can move. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's walk through your house. What do we have going on? And then I just listen for the pain points. Like, I don't like the family separated. It makes me feel anxious that the grandkids are in the other room. That's my life. I want to see them. They want them at the table with me. So I had somebody recently. I said, hey, you have a huge living room, runs the side of the house, and with a fireplace, real pretty. And your dining room's over here. It's a little smaller. Why don't you repurpose them? Why don't you swap them? It's, fair. It's close enough to the kitchen in an open concept where just run your table along the fireplace, get a bigger table. It'll fit about 5 more people, which is basically all your grandkids plus a room for more. She said, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. I said, just hang a chandelier, go over here, put some doors on your living room. I mean, on your dining room, turn it into an office den where you can close the doors. So if the kids are running around, you can still have work calls or whatever. She's like, that's brilliant. And so now she doesn't have to move. She just has figured out how to repurpose 2 of her rooms. So if we can do that, it saves a lot of, expense and trouble. But sometimes the needs are like if you get a promotion and you need to move to Seattle, but you live in New York, that's probably not going to work on the career front for you to keep your home in New York because you can't get to your job in Seattle. So that's a zero, and we're moving. But let's look at the other things. And like, do you need 2 offices in the new home? How close do you need to be to the airport? So you still go through all the questions. It's just, I listen for pain points to start the whole process off before I overwhelm, so I don't overwhelm people with like all the things that I'm thinking in my head.
So why do so many people live in homes that like you were discussing it, that reflect who they were, not who they are now though?
Because life changes. And I mean, I'm trying, if you're a single guy living in a condo, high-rise condo, near food and all the things that you like to do when you were single, but you're getting married, you want a dog, time's a ticking, and the future wife, she's going to want, some babies pretty soon. That condo, the bachelor pad condo, is probably not going to work, but maybe the two of you cram in there, for a year before you start having kids and whatnot. And so you start feeling the pain points, and like wife gets pregnant, going to have a baby, but you're like, yeah, I really love this lifestyle. I'm going to miss the city and all this stuff. And so you're kind of holding on to part of your past that either you're not ready to let go of, or finances get in the way, or like it's close to your job. So you're going to have to commute more, and that makes your career spoke go a little lower. It's a trade-off. So you don't want to let go of something perhaps that isn't working for you, but you're not quite ready to let go of it.
Okay. So how can someone start aligning their environment without making a major move? What is a little shift they can start with?
Well, I mean, so again, if your life is changing in some way, like, I don't know, when you started your podcast, I don't know if your studio's in your home or if you go elsewhere, to do the recording, but I know a lot of podcasters that it's like, oh yeah, I mean, we have this room and it used to be this, but now I want to change it. Like, I don't want to go pay money to podcast somewhere else. This is now my career. Let's just repurpose a room in the house. So you can think about, does each room serve its function? Or is it like a room that's not really used? Are there things in the room, does it just hold old clothes and boxes and I'm not really using it? I have a room in my home that used to have just old, like all the preschool pictures from my kid. My kids are 30 and 32. They don't care about those things, and I had boxes of them. Now it holds all my staging stuff for my job. So I do have a little corner left, I didn't just throw all my kids' stuff away. But it's like, okay, why am I keeping all this stuff? Nobody wants it. Let's just do a little inventory. Let's get rid of it. And what could I use this 20-foot space for? And then so I got rid of my storage units. I brought everything home. It stays a lot nicer, and it's right here in my house, so I can just load up my car and go. It's like, okay, so I just took a useless room and got rid of driving around an expense that I didn't need. So I think you can walk through your home, and I have on my website, I have something called the lifestyle lift assessment. It's 10 minutes. You go to a room in a certain area and you say, is this working for me? And you start writing down notes like, yeah, I don't use that elliptical trainer. I go to the gym. I like the social time. Sell it. Put it on Facebook Marketplace. Get rid of it. Put a reading chair. Purpose your space for something that you're actually going to use, and get rid of something that was the former you.
For me, it's clothes. It's like
Yeah.
it's a lot of clothes. It's clothes that I gotta get rid of. Uh, since last year, I'm down maybe 100 and something pounds.
Wow. Awesome.
So it's clothes. I have clothes that I really it just don't fit. Like,
Yeah.
and eventually I have to ch- start changing my wardrobe soon. So there's a lot of clothes that I'm gonna have to donate and get rid of. So
That's a really good reason. And I also want to know your secrets.
oh no, I was diabetic, suffering from severe sleep apnea,
Yeah.
weighing almost 400 pounds,
Wow.
and so I had surgery, And since then, I've just been watching how I eat, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Well, you
just
look great.
I
Yeah,
feel I
you
feel
must feel
so
great.
I feel so much better. My sleep, I am now no longer diabetic. I no longer take high blood pressure medication. Um, yeah, my feet don't swell up. I don't have to take any water pills. I feel my energy levels are so much higher. I just feel so much better. It's definitely it's been a necessary change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kudos to you. So now your health spoke is much, much higher.
Hmm.
And you don't, you've got clothes that don't fit. I mean, somebody else could use them, I'm sure.
Yeah,
And then just getting them out of your house, it's an old version of you and a less healthy version of you. I mean, part of celebrating the new you is getting rid of reminders of maybe how poorly you felt and bringing in a couple of, you don't have to go crazy, but a couple of new things that reflect, the new you. Um, and then when you walk in your closet, it's like you don't have the reminders of that anymore. And so there's something very cathartic about clearing that out of your space. It's not the real you. It's not the you anymore. It's not reflecting the real you anymore. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So, because I'm sure it all comes to, but how does aligning your home change how you show up in work and relationships?
Well, if you're frustrated at home,
Mhm.
what's that feeling when you're pulling in your driveway or riding up your elevator or whatever? However, when you're approaching home or you're sitting at home, are you frustrated, or it should be the home base that like fills you up? Are you sleeping well at night? Are there noises that are keeping you up? Whether it's your partner next to you, or something from outside, or the dog. Um, you know, if you aren't refueling and restoring and finding some comfort and joy and inspiration at home, you're not fueled up to go out into the world. I mean, home should be your respite where you're out in the world, and most of us have a persona that we operate out of that is a higher version of ourselves. I mean, I'm certainly not going to get on your show in my bathrobe, right? But I mean, but I do wear my bathrobe, but that's not what I'm going to present out there. But in my bathrobe and taking a bath, and you know all my lotions and the stuff that I do to prepare myself to go out into public, and my makeup and the hair and all the things, um you don't have to worry about that at home. If you can just be you, not only in your home environment, but with the people in your home and the people you let in your home, that refuels you to go out and be the best version of yourself out there. So if there's a misalignment in your home, it's kind of like not plugging the battery charger back in.
Mm.
If your home is depleting you, whether it's like the maintenance or the people in your home or the environment or the noise or the mold or whatever it is, then you're not your best self when you go out into the world. And so alignment's very important.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So what does living fully actually mean to you?
Well, I mean, now, I thought I was living fully before. I had a gorgeous, gorgeous home. Uh, you know, did all the things everybody else was doing. Everyone rode horses in my part of town. Had, horse farm was the thing to do. And nice cars, all that stuff. But I really wasn't being me. I was in an accounting job, and I'm a creative, So I started off by becoming a realtor, and now I'm a realtor author because I love to write. And so being in alignment with me in my heart, and then my home is a representation of that. I no longer have a huge home. It's lovely. It's a cottage. I have a podcast studio. I have a place I can write. I have a garden out back because I'm extroverted, but I like grounding myself. I find that I relax and then I'm able to go back out and meet with people because I had some quiet time with my hands in the soil and like smelling herbs and cooking and things like that and put my music on. So like I've set up my entire home to fill me up. Now, if I were an introvert, it might look a little different than I'm an extrovert. Like people fuel me. Let's have people in. Let's have a big kitchen. And but if I'm an introvert, I might need a corner to kind of get away and refuel. Not that I don't like people, but that's how I refuel. So if your home reflects yourself and that alignment and it truly fuels you, then that's living in your wheelhouse.
Yeah. Yeah. So for someone feeling restless or disconnected at home, what's the first honest question they should ask themselves?
What are you doing that you don't want to do? And what are you not doing that you want to do? Do
Mm.
you like when I wasn't golfing? When I grew up golfing, which is a privilege, right? And it's a beautiful, well, nothing too fancy, but I was out in nature and my family was there and very safe environment and stuff. But there were these planes that used to fly over. They were like practicing learning how to fly over the golf course. And then when I didn't golf and it was a nice sunny day and I would hear a plane, I would think back to like how peaceful it was when I was just kind of sitting there in nature. And I knew that it was something I was missing. But then I'd be like, oh, I need to get going again. But it was this nagging feeling like, oh, I missed that. Why am I not doing that? Okay, I'm busy. Can't think about it anymore. So like little things will pop into your head about, oh, I used to love to walk on the beach with my grandmother. We would hold hands and, and that water, something about being near the water was peaceful to me. So maybe you need to have whether it's a river you can go walk by in your city that you live in or a pond you can go sit at or whatever. Think about the things that you often reflect on that bring you joy but that you don't have in your life and how even if you can't go buy a beach house, can you take a vacation once a year somewhere you can walk on the beach just to like, fill yourself up until the next time you can get there. So I think it's, what are you doing that you don't want to do that gives like I did accounting, it gave me a headache and I didn't realize why until I stopped. And what do you want to do that you're not putting in your life?
Awesome. So you mentioned the podcast. What made you want to launch a podcast?
I can only help so many people here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, my 10 to 20 folks that I help a year, I'm all in and I love it. And then, I get to like see them happy in a new home. But there's, in 2023 and 24, 82% of everyone that moved had a major regret. And 12% of that whole 100% number didn't like their home at all. That's 3 million people a year who don't even like their home. So I was like, well, why don't I take this process and put it in a form where more people can use the process and up-level their lives and maybe find themselves again and create an environment that helps them be happier because we're in a bit of an epidemic of unhappiness right now. So let's get back to it's not about the color of your countertops. It does not matter that your home looks beautiful from the outside. It matters who you are on the inside and have you aligned your environment and what you do with what makes you happy. Not what everybody else is doing, not what looks great on Instagram, but what makes you as an individual happy.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. Thank you. This has been wonderful. But now we've come to the part of the show where you get the spotlight and you get to plug away and let them know where they can find the book, your website, everything.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. So the book is Live in Your Wheelhouse, and it's already on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So wherever you buy books, that's where that would be. And I have a podcast by the same name, Live in Your Wheelhouse. I'll be starting to run workshops where you can go through the process with me and work with a local realtor or a designer or contractor or just switch up your home yourself. And I'm on the socials, Kim E. Costa, everywhere, like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the things. So I hope to connect.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for being a guest. I appreciate it. All the links are going to be in the show notes. So, but thank you. But
Thank
don't leave just yet. Let me close out the show and we'll chat a little bit. I didn't even. Oh, uh, hold
Excuse,
on.
excuse
I
me.
didn't even realize we had some comments. So,
Yeah.
Obimi, who's a good friend of mine,
Oh, nice.
he's he agreed your home is your safe space and place of peace.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Obimi. Thank you. He also added, your home is your comfort zone. Yes. Yeah.
It should be.
And he says, you got some good knowledge, great guests.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you, Obimi. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's my goal.
Oh yeah, no, that's one of the reasons I like to go live, right? Because when people leave comments, and it's good to know that somebody got some value from
Yeah.
the episode. So for me, that's awesome.
Makes my day.
Yeah, but don't leave just yet. Let me close the show, and we're gonna chat a little bit off the air. But thank you so much for being such a great guest. I had a wonderful time. You're awesome.
You too. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Another great episode is in the books. I can't believe time flies, man, when you're having such a great conversation. But if this conversation made you rethink your space or your next move, explore the wheelhouse method and excuse me, and more resources at lifestylefoundations.com. And if you know someone feeling out of alignment at home, share this episode. It might help them find their clarity. It might help them find clarity where they live. So you know how your boy Wize does it. Peace out.